Currently trending in the political space in South Africa is Floyd Shivambu leaving the EFF for MK Party. And then in the press conference, he had mentioned that he does not want to get into slander and talking about the EFF in a bad light. And it seemed that Malema also colluded towards the same thing, saying that there should not be slanderous things said towards each other. But I think we all actually doubted that Malema would adhere to his own words. If he did really say that they should not be slanderous in any way. But we all knew that Julius Malema, after he was shell-shocked, he will come back and say a lot of things. And I saw videos of people saying that down with Floyd Shivambu, down, these were EFF members. And for those who have not seen what Julius Malema recently said, here's a video.
And they can respond within 24 hours. I stand before you re-energized by your energy, inspired by your commitment, your fearless character, and the courage to take on the enemy without thinking twice in the name of the economic freedom in our lifetime. I can proudly say today to those who said I'm left alone, that I'm not alone. The ground forces are here to continue the battle for economic freedom in our lifetime. I stand before you as a leader that is confident of the future, because we know that the young people of the EFF, led by the president of the Student Command, are ready to take the baton from us and continue with the struggle for economic freedom.
So you see, I wanted to talk about this as well, but I'm not a political analyst, so I'm going to talk about this from a standpoint of a logical person and also actually make business as an example. So there's a lot of people who actually thought or believed that this is actually a plan by the EFF to actually build a collaboration with the MK Party. But when you look at the first press conference, you will see in their body languages and in the way that they represented themselves. Floyd Shivambu with his group all came in black, and obviously the red and the red berets was for Julius Malema's side. And in their body languages, you could see that Floyd was actually uncomfortable, but he just had to do that because he is a diplomat and he is a very intelligent political leader. So he understood the importance of doing that press conference. I think the same thing can be said about Julius Malema, but you could see that he is shell-shocked. He was shooketh. He was left shaken, and he did his part, and obviously it seemed that they are actually separating amicably. But I don't think that it was an amicable separation, because we could also look back and some of the other things that this person, whom is Julius Malema, has said about being challenged as the leader of the EFF. And obviously there were so many doubts that he could actually relegate himself from the leader to vice president of the EFF. Obviously not. It was very clear that, in a sense, we could say that within the EFF, this guy might be a dictator. So obviously there was no more growth for Floyd Shivambu, so he had to leave the EFF and try to grow his political standing somewhere else, and that comes in as the MK Party. The MK Party, which at the moment does not actually have a solid leader or president at the top, and he actually didn't have that much beef with Jacob Zuma to begin with when Julius Malema was screaming, pay back the money, pay back the money. You remember all of that, right? So it makes sense that he would go there because there was already a ceiling for him, and that ceiling was not a glass ceiling, and there was a metal steel ceiling called Julius Malema for his growth. But you see here Julius Malema also talking about people who are not loyal to the party, loyal because they are in for positions or something like that, and him being sad about the fact that he's counting soldiers that he doesn't actually have. But let's actually analyze that from a logical perspective, because there are some people who actually believe that because of this happening, the EFF will go on a downfall. Because Floyd Shivambu is a very intelligent guy, very knowledgeable and experienced in politics, right? But if we look at this in a logical way, and let's say we make a comparison with business. If a business is 10 years old and is of that magnitude, has grown to that magnitude, 9 times out of 10, a CFO or a CEO of the company leaving that business doesn't necessarily mean that that business is actually going to go bankrupt or fall and crumble. 9 times out of 10, that business continues to grow, or the business pivots somehow and it finds a new way to actually grow its market share. So if you look at the EFF as a business, it's already 10 years old or a bit older, and it has at the top, let's say Julius Malema in this case is the CEO, and Chief Operating Officer or Chief Financial Officer was Floyd Shivambu. Floyd Shivambu actually leaving this business doesn't actually mean that this business will fall, because there is a lot of talent in the EFF. These are your Mbuiseni Ndlozis, these are your Naledi Chiros, and the other people that I don't know. I'm not a big fan of EFF, I'm not going to lie, but I am going to be logical about this and say that it doesn't necessarily mean this is the end for them. In fact, I think there might be a bit more growth that is going to happen somehow in their part, right? And with all these young leaders that are there will be more representation from people who are young, who are noticing that, wow, okay, in this political party, people who are younger than your Julius Malemas and Mbuiseni Ndlozis are actually growing in this business, then I can believe in this business, buy products, i.e. vote for this business or this political party. So I don't think that it's falling in any way, shape or form as yet. And in fact, it's also a very important political voice that is needed in this country, because we have imperialists in this country who are part of running the country. We have quote unquote liberals or communists who are leaders in the country, but they don't actually care that much about the majority, and the majority in South Africa being black people and the prosperity of black people. So the EFF as a political voice is actually still needed in the political space of South Africa. We need them, whether we like them or not. And I am saying again, as a person who's not a fan of the EFF, I am very much aware that they are a needed voice within the political space in South Africa. So that's pretty much my opinion. I don't think that the EFF is falling, and I don't think that this separation between the two leaders, one leaving to a next political party, means the end of the EFF. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let's have a conversation. I will see you in the next one. Salute.